Alright, let's talk about Patreon. So I've been putting off sort of starting to push my Patreon. I've had it for a while, and there are actually a couple of patrons on there who I'll mention at the end of this video, but I think it's time that I actually started pushing this platform a bit more so that you all know it's there. So if you don't know what it is, it's like a reward based system where you pledge as little as $1 and you get stuff in return. Now, I can't promise as much as say what James and Tyler do with As Always. That's just insane. What I can offer is that patrons will be shouted out at the end of videos after the first payment is completed, so their names will show up at the end of the video. Once it starts to amass a bit more of a following, I'll start to put up polls and things over on Patreon so the patrons can have a bit more of a say as to what happens on this channel. What are my arms doing? And of course, people who pledge $5 or more will get access to discounts and things for the merch store. Anything else will probably be accessible to all patrons when they're added. I don't think adding too many more tiers is really going to be a good thing, so I'll keep as little tiers as possible, so it'll probably stay with these two, and I'll just add extra rewards and things as we go. Anyways, now on to answering the questions. Yeah, these ones. Listen, I don't necessarily want your money, but with the way YouTube's going, I thought it wouldn't hurt to get this out there as a way to support the channel through all these harsh months where ads are through the floorboards. And at the same time, I thought that this would be the most mutually beneficial for both me and you, so there's that. And to top it all off, the money generated through Patreon will be put aside and then reinvested into the channel. If this doesn't take your fancy, then don't worry about it. It's just there for people who do want to give that little bit extra. You're supporting me enough by watching these videos and watching the ads and things like that. That's great. But if you want to have your name mentioned at the end of videos, for example, or you want to get discounts on merch and things like that, then Patreon will be the place to go. Just know that if you do choose to pledge over on Patreon, no matter for how long, if it's a few months or if it's for as long as you can, I really appreciate it, so thank you. And to people who don't wish to pledge on Patreon and yet you still support the channel, which is perfectly fine as well, I appreciate you too, so you don't have to worry about it. It's just there for people who want to and can. Now, this Patreon isn't new, it's been there for a while, and we do actually have a few patrons who have been silent heroes for a while, and it's about time that they started getting some recognition. So special thank you to Genevieve Slunka, Joshua Astolfi, Lumistrad and Patrick Hill. I really appreciate your support, and everybody else watching, I appreciate you just as much, do not worry. But that is just one of the rewards that you get with being a patron, so give me your money. So at the moment, this Patreon is still in like an infancy, and it's there for people who want to pledge to support the channel and see some reward in return. But I reckon it will develop a bit more. As soon as it starts to take off a bit, I'll start to consider new things to do with it as well. Probably start doing those alongside people pledging and things like that. So as time progresses, I'm sure I'll be able to do it. So bear with me on that one. Anyways, I don't wish to detain you any further. My Patreon is patreon.com/FishyYarpster. It's an old link. Don't judge the name. I thought it would be funny to just leave it. I'll also leave a link in the description and in the cards, so if you want to go ahead and find it, there's many ways to get there, so don't worry. I'm going to get back to working on this big project that I'm doing. It's like an Elder Scrolls video, my ideal Elder Scrolls 6. I think I'm about halfway through, which is 20 minutes long. This is going to be a long project. I've got a long day ahead of me, which is another thing as well. With patron support, making more videos like that will be more sustainable. But as for this video, thank you for watching this if that's all you've been doing. If you go ahead and pledge to Patreon, I really appreciate it. Thank you. You will see those rewards after the first payment is completed, which is towards the start of every month, I do believe, so it wouldn't be that long of a wait. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point. But until then, goodbye.